by Cannon Mullen. Was it Mullen?
Yeah.
And Lee? Yes?
Yes. What?
Cannon, Lee and Mullen?
No, Palmer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 3-0. We both got quite close with our predictions, to be fair. I went 3-1. I did get excited because I thought I'd gone 3-0, but I hadn't. I had to watch the video back, and I definitely hadn't. Sean went for 4-0, so we were both waiting for one goal at the end there, weren't we? I was waiting for one for Crewe, and you were waiting for one for Wrexham.
Yeah.
Look, it was very... I think that sometimes when you get a red card in a game, it just sort of kills it a little bit, and it sort of did.
It doesn't for us, though. When we get a red card, we seem to step up.
Yeah, I know, but it was, we do. But it was just very difficult for them. They were already 2 down. They'd gone down to 10 men. It just sort of killed it because it nullified any sort of chance they really had. We took our foot off the gas a little bit. Look, we were still pushing, we were still moving it around. But, there was no need for a massive amount of urgency. Really happy to beat Crewe. It's been a while since that's happened in the league. All in all, a good day.
And whoever said when we were doing our half-time review that McLean would get subbed off at half-time?
Yeah, no, you're right.
So McFadden came on.
Gutted, really. I was quite excited to see what was going to happen in that second half.
Yeah, I think that's probably why Parky subbed him.
Yeah, I know.
So nothing did happen again. So Jordan Davis came on. Marriott. Did Bolton come on? I don't remember hearing his name very much. Yes,
Bolton came on, yes. Peter said nice and easy win. Steve Locke, great, happy. Chaz, it's like you had a 2-word limit then and you just went great, happy. Chaz, decisive. Sire, seemed like the lads really had fun with that win. Yeah, definitely. I was saying that.
I think when the pressure's off, I think it's just,
It just seemed like they were enjoying it. But they deserve it. It's been, it's one of them things, isn't it? Really long, hard season. And then when the job's done and you're going out there and you can just enjoy your football. I'm sure they do enjoy it a lot of the time, but, you can just enjoy it. It sort of really shows, I think. Chaz said it was worth getting up at 5 a.m. for. Good, I'm glad.
Must be difficult getting up at
John, ho-hum, another 3 points. Crewe may not make the playoffs playing like that. They have... what?
70 may not be enough. Is that points?
Sorry, I sort of froze for a minute. I was trying to work out what you were saying. Even if they do get in the playoffs, John, their form is horrible at the moment. So I don't hold out much hope. You've got someone like Doncaster who are absolutely flying at the moment. They're outside the playoffs. But if they get in, you definitely bank on them. Crewe have now lost their last 3 home games, 3-0. So in their last 3 home games, they've scored none and conceded 9. That's horrible. But we've talked about this before, where, teams hitting form at the right time and they've just gone completely off the boil at the right time, but who cares? They're unlucky. Karen said, well done, Wrexham. Chaz said, agree, John, Crewe is in trouble. Yeah, definitely the wheels have come off.
But we're not, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. Sire said, how we feel about Gillingham's odds against the Stags.
That's a tough one because...
It is, because again, it's how a team respond when they know that the job that they set out to do is done. So like with us today, the job's done, but we still went out, shackles off a little bit and, we pushed on. It depends how Mansfield would respond. It might be completely different. They may really want to push on for second. They may not be bothered. They might make quite a few changes. They might sit back a little bit. They might try out a few different...
I think they will be bothered because it's, Wrexham are 3rd at the minute, Mansfield are 2nd. I think that Mansfield will want to go out there today and try and get one over on Wrexham, I think. My opinion. Yeah.
Chris, Wilms, not much to talk about game-wise, so I thought you are to ask, you a Swiftie now with Reece Zammit signing? No, absolutely not, Chris. Absolutely not.
I don't even know what that means. Is that American football?
Yes.
Or? Oh,
you know what Reece Zammit is? Rugby player?
Well, I know he's Welsh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Town are going up, ole ole. We're already up, mate.
Mertland, Wrexham's first 4-game win streak this season. Is it? I didn't know that. And I love a stat. I'm going to steal that and I'm going to use that on the podcast this week.
We will credit you for that in the podcast.
Do we have to?
Yes.
Okay.
Saya hates saying this, but I'm thinking we may see MK Dons again next season. Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be quite interesting, I think, the playoffs in League Two. John's just asked, is it true second get a trophy? I read it somewhere. No, I don't think so.
No,
not that I'm aware of.
Might get a little medal or something, maybe.
Yeah.
A little tin pot medal from Amazon.
Look, really good day, really professional, and I think we've gone out there against a sort of local rival, put them to the sword. Although looking at recent results, I think anyone could have turned them over today, not being awful. But I think we've done well and we've been very professional about it. Mullin's got another goal. Cannon got another goal. Glad to see Ollie's scored for his first goal since December. That was really nice to see as well. If I'm honest, I can understand why Parky brought Mullin off. But with him pushing for the sort of golden boot, I thought he might have left him out. Mullin didn't look very happy about coming off either.
He never does though, does he? He likes to play the full 90.
Yeah, I know. But, we'll wait and see. Maybe he'll score a hat-trick next week. So, Chris Wilms with us, liking to sign players a league or two above. Is it time to bring in another investor? I don't know. I think it's going to be quite tough for us in the summer. We're going to talk about a little bit more about this in sort of a few weeks on the podcast, but I think it's going to be quite tough. If we're always looking at signing players a league above, then the league above is the Championship. The Championship is one step away from the Premier League.
That's going to be tough.
To get a player to drop down away from one step away from the Premier League down to League One, I think that's you've really got to work at that. I think.
Well, it depends. If they're in the bottom of the league and they're going to drop down to League One anyway, then they've got the potential with us to go back up to the Championship the following season.
But do you want a player that's playing at the bottom of the Championship? Well, yeah, it depends on the player. I just think it's harder than we might think. Is it time to bring in another investor? I don't know. I'm not sure we're quite at that point.
We seem to be doing all right with just Rob and Ryan.
Yeah, but it's a whole different ball game next season, so we'll have to wait and see. Ben Parker, great away crowd. Felt like Crewe fans were at church and our fans really dominated. Loved that Ollie got a goal too. He's just a beast. # man crush.
No.
Mad. Is that Mad Al or Mad AI? Either way, that was fun.
John may need another investor just to get the training ground sorted. I think you meant to say. Yeah,
possibly.
Do you know what? Actually, we were watching the Man City documentary last night, and do you know what? Looking at their stadium and their training grounds, which are obviously attached to the ground,
they're not attached.
Well, they look like they are.
No, they're not.
Anyway,
that massive thing that you could see. That is the training ground. That isn't the stadium. Their training ground looks like a stadium. Yeah.
Oh right, okay, but that's the sort of training ground that we want to aim for. I think.
Yeah. We'll just spend a few 100 million. Yeah.
Well,
where were we? Sire, no way we can afford big Championship players. Correct. The wage difference is too large. Yeah, it's massive. You're talking tens of thousands of pound wages. No way we can afford that. It is Al, Mad Al. There are some really good free agents coming up. There are indeed. We've been linked with a few players as well. Sorry, the dog's doing something mental. Carol Rees.
Your bowl that you
we won this and got promoted last Saturday. We just got one game left. What is Stockport? Yeah. Ben, I think it's key that we really consolidate next season. So many players out of contract this off-season will give us a great head start. Eagleman Soccer travelling to Wrexham for the match next week. We do expect... What do we expect from both teams, given they will be 2 weeks out from emotional highs? I don't know, if I'm honest. I think we've got a little bit of a rivalry going on in the sense of what happened in the National League. Also in the sense of also in the if we think about the way that they beat us earlier in the season, then there is still a point to prove, and we do still want to beat them, but I'm not sure.
The only thing we don't want to do is the Guard of Honour. We're hoping that they do that today at who they're playing today.
No. Yeah, I don't think you understand the Guard of Honour. I've tried explaining this to you numerous times. If you win the league with 5 games to go, for example, every team that you play for them next 5 games give you a Guard of Honour. You don't just get one.
So, right, well, we're not...
Every team.
Well, I can guarantee a lot of Wrexham fans will be staying in the
the
concourse until at least the first whistle goes, because I don't think anyone wants to see that. Mad Al, George Evans is on... Is that 300,000? I can't...
30 grand a week. Do you mean our George Evans, Mad Al? Because I can guarantee you he's not on 30 grand a week.
That's yeah.
I think George Evans is the highest earner at Wrexham at the moment. I would guess he's on about 9 or 10. Chris, do you think loan players will be more common? Mad Al just said 7,200. That went mad.
I think you were hoping.
Mad Al went mad. I think that's something to aim towards. I think that's a good figure, between 7 and 10. That's where we need to be. That's where we need to be looking. Chris, do you think loan players will become more common next year? I don't know, if I'm honest. It's really hard, because I think the trouble I have with loan players, since we've had Arthur this season, I found myself all the way through January just on tenterhooks, just going, is he going to stay? Are they going to recall him? Are they going to do something? And it's like, this is me on tenterhooks. So I don't like the thought of loan players, but...
I mean, he was that team that had that guy that was scoring goals left, right and centre, and then there's his team called him back.
Swindon.
That sort of thing you don't want, isn't it?
Their 2 top scorers got recalled by Bradford and MK Dons respectively, and it's just like, it's sort of,
Your dad's commented, Kit Kat, or your mum has, Kit Kat, here I come. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
John, Parky generally doesn't like a loan, though, does he? No, he doesn't. So that's one good thing. Chris, no academy. I think you got to look at loans. I think maybe, maybe. I don't know. Sire said loan players are restricted to 6. That is correct. Yes. Madal, my worry is if he is going to stay. If Howard goes, AO goes, we'll be in a bit of a quandary. Yeah. Austin Young, I think it's great. We have had back-to-back promotions. It is absolutely fantastic.
And,
Austin, you are very right.
Yeah, and who says that we're not going to get a third promotion back into the... Well, not... Have we ever been in the Championship?
Sorry.
You're right there. Have we ever been in the Championship?
Yes.
Yeah. So, hopefully 3 promotions back-to-back.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I'm hoping for another pitch invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All good.
All good.
Look, guys, we're going to be recording the podcast tomorrow. It will be out normal time on Monday, 6 p.m. UK time. Convert that wherever you are in the world. And if you've got any questions for us, then please, email us, me, the wife, and wrexhamafc@gmail.com if you've got anything that you want to ask, anything you want to add into the podcast, or you can find us on social media, or you can comment on this video, or you just do what you like. And then, and we'll see you again soon. All right then. Bye-bye.